Welcome to Leverage to Live, where we empower you with the knowledge and the tools so you can turn your dreams into reality. Are you ready to switch up your money game? Because in today's topic, we're going to have the ultimate showdown to break down the difference between debit versus credit. After this breakdown, there will be absolutely no more confusions and definitely no more mysteries, and you will be able to be on your way to financial freedom. So without further ado, let's get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First, we're going to break down the difference between debit and credit. So let's get right to it. A debit card is linked to a checking account that will probably provide you a PIN, and you yourself fund that checking account. So when you purchase something, the balance is taken out directly from your checking account. On the other hand, a credit card is linked to a revolving line of credit that you can use as you please. You may carry a balance month to month, but keep in mind, you will also always need to pay the minimum payment. And I highly recommend that you always pay it off each month, so then you don't accrue any interest on top of that. All right, now that we covered the first portion, let's get into each individual part, right? Let's get into the advantage of having a debit card. Number one, you avoid increasing your debt. That is very big because a lot of people do not know how to manage debt. So for us, the people that do not know how to manage debt, we're gonna make it very simple by using a debit card, right? Because you don't have to keep track of your spend, because you don't have to worry about paying it off a month later, right? So that can be something beneficial for you if you're in that situation that you don't know how to manage debt. Number two, debit cards give you an easy access to getting your cash out, okay? With a debit card, you can just pull up to any bank you want, or you have to go to your specific bank and you can get the cash out immediately. Unlike a credit card, it's going to be a little different, and you have to have a cash withdrawal, okay? So that's going to be a little different, which is going to be considered a cash advance with a credit card. Now, number three, you can pay now to avoid any bill later with a debit card. Okay, like I said with the first one, this just helps you so you don't have to keep track mentally of all the debt that you're going into, so you don't have to worry about what you need to pay at the end of the 30 days. Okay, number four, a debit card does not impact your credit. Okay, so if you're a person that does not want to build credit whatsoever, a debit card is perfect for you because it will not impact your credit. And then number five, a debit card will help you control your spend, okay? Because since it's money that you personally have, every time you spend it, it leaves your account, and you don't want to go below the money that's in there, because then you'll have overdraft fees and so on, right? So you're more aware of the type of the money that you're spending because it's your money, okay? So that's an advantage of having a debit card. You don't have to stress too much because it's easier to track how much money you have left to spend. Okay, now let's get to the section that I personally like myself, and I recommend that each one of you guys that is subscribed to at least our channel, that you personally are going to take advantage of credit cards instead of debit cards, right? So let's get right into it. The advantages of having a credit card. Number one, credit card gives you an extra time to pay. Okay, that is so powerful, right? Because on this channel, we talk about leverage. That gives you the leverage point right there, because I can buy a product or a service and not have to pay till 30 days later. Now, most people do not know how to leverage this, so they go into debt. What we don't want to do is go into debt. We want to leverage this, pay over time, right? To basically build a business or something that's going to cash flow and make money in return, right? So when we cash flow, we will then go ahead and pay that debit card off in the 30 days, and then we will keep the remainder that we made. So that's how that would work. So that is a big advantage of credit card if you use it the correct way. So number three, credit card is very useful and is convenient when you're in an emergency situation or you have to make a down payment for something, right? So if you're in an emergency and you have a debit card and you do not have money or any money in that checking account, you are in trouble because you cannot swipe that debit card or you will go into overdraft, and that is a no, right? We never want to go into overdraft. So this is when it's so crucial. If you have a credit card, you have 30 days to come up with that money before you are charged. And if you cannot come up with that money, all you have to do is find a way to pay that minimum balance. Yes, in most circumstances, you will get hit with interest after the 30 days. But if you understand the credit game and you know and you're able to leverage a 0% APR credit card for 6, 12 to 18 months or 21 months for some banks, then you can take advantage of that and never pay interest for however long the APR goes for. That is crucial play for everyone in our group to know. Okay, and then number 4, and probably the most important one, credit cards offer you reward points, or they have a reward system. Okay, and this is the point that we want to make. And since this channel is all about leveraging, this is what we're going to be doing with these reward points. When we use a debit card, all we're doing is spending our own money and not getting anything in return. For me, that's a very big no, because I want to maximize everything that I do, right? And that is a key of leverage. So when I use a credit card, most credit cards offer you a reward system. I'm gonna go ahead and give you an example. So with an American Express Gold card, right? Every time I spend $1, I get 4 times the points for that dollar spent at any restaurant, Uber Eats, or so on in that category of food. So if I go to a restaurant, I spend money, I get 4 times the point to my dollar, right? I spend $400, right? 4 times 400. Simple as that, right? So to maximize those rewards, we're gonna go ahead and put them into points, and then we're gonna use those points to travel for free or to live for free. Use those points to pay off a bill or whatever it is that you want to do with your points. But personally, now that I'm learning the travel hacking game, when I get those points at the end of the year, what I want to do is hold on to as many of those points as I can, accumulate those points, and then use it all in one go to get free business class out of the country or in the domestic or wherever you want to go. You know what I mean? For me, that's what I'm gonna use this for, is to travel out of the country, because that's the most value that I would get for those points. Okay, and then number 5, but not least, every time you use a credit card, you are protected. This one is so crucial, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you a story to back it up, right? So our very first investment, we went into an e-commerce business. In this e-commerce business, we spent about $40,000 just to get into the business, right? And what their responsibility was in the business was to provide us a service, a customer service for all of our customers, and to make sure they fulfilled orders and so on. But everything was good to start, then everything fell apart and went downhill. So what turned out to be something that was legitimate very quickly went into a scam. So even though a year had already passed since we made that $40,000 purchase, our credit card still protected us, and we were able to go back and dispute that charge, and we actually won the case, even though it was 1 year later. So that is so powerful. I would have been out of $40,000 because of a starter investment that I made that turned south. Everyone needs to be cutting up their debit card. And this is only, I'm talking and speaking to only the people that have a good habit or established a good relationship with money already. That is gonna be crucial, right? If you haven't established a good habit with money, please do not jump right to a credit card, because we need to build those habits out before we get a credit card, because you're gonna over leverage yourself very quickly because you're not realizing how much spending you're doing. So it is so crucial that we know up front how much money we can spend each month without going into debt. So let's keep it as simple as possible. Treat your credit card like a debit card. So if you do not have that money in your account, do not touch that credit card for that month. If you have $100 in your checking, you have $100 on your credit. That's how it should work for everyone. Okay, we do not want to over leverage for any reason at all. Now, the only reason why you would over leverage is if you're in business and you know is cash flowing. Then it's okay to over leverage because you can get that money back and you're sure of it. But if you don't have a business, never over leverage, because that is the best way to go into debt at a rapid pace. Okay, that is one of the main reasons why people hate credit cards, is because they do not know how to use the credit card. Okay, so 1, cut your debit card if you have good money habit. Okay, cut it up right now. 2, never ever overextend yourself on a credit card. Only use it like a debit card and pay it off right away. Nobody is telling you you need to wait 30 days to pay it off, guys. The banks actually like it when you use your debit card and pay it back right away. You look like a great borrower, and that is what we're trying to do. We always want to look like a great borrower. So get a credit card, use it like a debit card. Take advantage and leverage that credit card to get the maximum rewards, and use those rewards to go travel for free and take your family on a nice vacation. Hey, if you like what I'm talking about, if you like what I put down, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and turn on that notification, because we're going to be providing you knowledge and tools so that you can turn your dreams into reality. I'll catch you on the next video. I'm out. Yes, sir. All right.